Hey everyone, it's me Catherine and we are back with another manga reading vlog, and this month it is My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I can't remember if that was decided on, hold on. I can't remember if I decided that before I finished the JJK one or not. I think I might have done, so you may already know this. But anyway, yeah, reading the My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which is like a prequel spin-off, pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure I heard something. Pretty sure I heard something about an anime or something. I probably won't watch the anime. I haven't watched much anime lately at all, really. But yeah, so we'll hit if I sneeze one more time. So today we're gonna start, well, I don't know if I'm gonna start it. I have to start it soon though, because it is currently, it is the 16th of March. So I have like 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks to get it done. I mean, technically I don't, because I just have to get it filmed before I get it up in April. But I like to have them filmed in a month in advance. I just haven't. I've been so tired. I've been so tired. But today, I need some hay fever tablets. I'm out. I'm gonna go get some tomorrow, but I'm out, and I just my eyes are itching, my nose is stuffy, and I need it to go away. Yeah, gonna be reading some MHA Vigilantes. I did start this, I want to say, honestly it's probably years ago. I have no idea when. I don't think I got very far, but I did start it, so it's not completely new, but most of it will be. So I'll need a refresher anyway, because I don't remember much of what happened, so it'd be interesting to go into it. And I've heard a lot of good things. People say, oh my god, people say it's very good. Honestly, if this carries on, I might not start today. I might not actually start today because I can't, it's irritating. I don't date the entries to this anyway. I just film like the clips. I don't date them or anything. I think I used to. I think I did when I very first started, but that was a pain. It's a pain just checking like, oh hey, this was filmed on this day. I mean, I could just like have a little sheet that I just hold and be like, hey, I filmed this on this day. But to be honest, when I do it doesn't really matter. So yeah, so we're gonna start MHA Vigilantes. I've heard it's good. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm having a little lunch break, finally getting started on this. And I was on chapter 36, according to the Shonen Jump app. That's how far I got, which isn't very far. I've checked, there's 15 volumes, so it's not as long as JJK, but not the longest I've done by far actually. But you know, still nothing to sniff at. And I just like, can we not just let him go? Just forget, like I mostly just forget about him. Like I don't hate Mineta. I feel mostly nothing towards him. I just feel like we should just forget him, just completely ignore his existence, and just, so like starting off just reminding me of his existence. Just, can we just, this is it. I feel like for any videos from now until the end of like pollen season, I'm gonna be apologizing for any sneezing. I'm gonna try and cut it out, so if there's any like awkward cuts, I mean there's a lot of awkward cuts, but if there's any like super awkward cuts, it's probably me sneezing and cutting it out because fucking hay fever. But yeah, so like literally just a couple of pages into this, I just wanted to just let's just forget Mineta, okay? Just forget about him, please. Okay, so just finished the first chapter, and I'm kind of glad, because I had contemplated just jumping into chapter 37 and just hoping and praying that I would remember everything that happened, but I completely forgot pretty much all of that first chapter and the .0 chapter before it, which was like just an introduction to vigilantes and what vigilantes are and how vigilantes are criminals actually, because they're doing it illegally despite the fact that they are doing good. They are the same as villains, which I guess is the point of this, is it's gonna go through, hopefully, because vigilantes aren't villains. They're not even similar to villains. They're just people who take things into their own hands, because the legal heroes and the police and whatever aren't around all the time, can't be around all the time, honestly aren't there for the normal things. They're there for the big things. So I guess what this series is going to do is highlight that, and also we've got the drug that amplifies quirks happening as well. I'm not sure what the timeline is roughly of this, but I guess we'll figure out. But yeah, I guess we'll figure it out. I don't know how much more I'm going to read today, if I'm going to read any more today, because I am tired. My hay fever is kicking my ass. Like, I've got the runny nose and the itchy eyes, and I'm sneezing all the time, but the thing that's getting me is I'm so tired. Like, it's this year's hay fever has come with fatigue, which is not ideal. So I'm not going to push myself to read when I don't want to, so I'm going to just take it nice and steady this one, and we'll see. I mean, I think you can see how tired. I know I'm always tired. Like, my base status is always like tired to some degree, but this is too tired, more tired even for me. So if I sit doing, not necessarily doing nothing, but if I sit reading, like, I can feel my body just sort of like drifting off. So I'm going to do the reading a bit at a time, and we'll see how far we go. But I've heard this is really good. I'm really interested to see more from this, and I hope the amount of Pop Step's ass we see reduces significantly, because what the fuck. Okay, so like I had completely forgotten, I guess, what this, at least the first part is based on. Like, it's around, I guess, around the time that Trigger is going round, because that's, you know, the thing that's a lot of the fist guy he's like obsessed with, like, checking their tongues, trying to find out information about Trigger and where they're getting it from. That old man, I say old man, he's probably in like his 40s or something, so they're not necessarily old, but I guess by teenage standards 40s is old, but as someone in their 30s. Also, does Pop really have to have her ass hanging out all of the time? Does she not get cold? I mean, I guess she's bouncing around all the time. There's just no need. There's just absolutely no need for it. I get that she's supposed to be, she's like an idol or whatever. She's doing it, I think, as far as I can remember, and from what, it's been a while since I read the first chapter. She's not under a company or anything. She's doing it all off her own back. Illegally. I guess. Illegally? Well, maybe not illegally. I don't think it's illegal, but it's, she's not doing it, it's not all above board. With permission. She's not doing it with permission. Boy, this first volume really is just setting up like this idea, the problem with the super powered society, and the fact that you're not allowed to use your quirk unless you've got a license for it, and that obviously vigilantism is a crime and you're basically the same as a villain, and but also heroes can't be everywhere. The heroes won't be everywhere. They're not gonna, I think honestly, it's been a while since I filmed that first clip, so there might be a bit of repetition. If there's too much repetition, I'll cut it out, but yeah, they can't be everywhere, and so, you know, a lot of the smaller things and the back alley stuff is gonna get passed over and things like that. But yeah, we've got this old guy and Knuckle, I don't know what the fuck his name is, the fist guy, who really appears to be quirkless, seems to be quirkless, because we had an encounter with Eraserhead and he assumed he had some sort of strength quirk, tried to erase it and it didn't. He's like, oh, he's just a tough old bastard. Not technically misusing a quirk, so can't really get him done for vigilantism because it's not a crime. Yeah, he's not using a quirk without a license, so he can't necessarily get done for it. So, loopholes. But we have him and Pop Step, who have sort of taken over, what's his name, Koichi's house. They've just sort of like made themselves at home. Treating it like a communal area. Keep referencing it like the living space is a communal area, and it's like, not a communal area, my house. Which is basically a cabin that's been attached onto the top of an abandoned building. And poor Koichi, he just wanted to have it. He's in college, he's in university now, and he's just trying to have a relatively normal university student life. But because of where his house is, the first time he tried to get people to go there, it started a whole bunch of rumours around, and so now he doesn't have any friends and doesn't have a social life. And now he's got this like 40-odd-year-old man and a high schooler wannabe pop idol crashing in his house and forming up a vigilante team to take down. I guess technically she's not, I don't think she's officially like part of the trio. I think it's just him and the fist guy. Yeah, just sort of, you know, and it's fun. It's fun, but because they're vigilante, because they're illegally doing this, there's also that element of them potentially being caught, which adds an extra level of stress that I hate. But I got to, according to Shonen Jump, 36 last time, so I guess I got that far and they didn't get caught. So, and there's a whole load of it, so there's quite a few volumes. So I wanted this to not drag on too long. I don't want to have to put this into 2 parts. So we'll just see how this goes. Okay, just a quick note to update my timeline guesses. It is definitely, because I was like, oh, it's around the time Turbo Trigger was sort of like thingy, but in the My Hero Academia manga, in the main manga, I don't think we learn about Trigger until, I don't recall it ever being mentioned until the Chisaki stuff, you know, when they're doing the interns and that, so that's roughly where I had this manga taking place, but we've just got Ingenium on the scene. Turbo Hero Ingenium's always the quickest, and so that's obviously, this has got to be earlier because as we know, the internship takes place after the sports festival, and we all know what happened during the sports festival. I guess spoilers? I just realised, technically this is a spin-off, and maybe some people who've read this haven't read the main manga, in which case I'm going to apologise because I can't remember if I've accidentally already, I mean, I guess the internships, and I mentioned Chisaki, but nothing, I guess, nothing spoilerish. But I'm about to spoil Ingenium's fate. I don't know if it gets spoiled in this manga, so I guess spoiler warning for the sports festival of the main manga, where Ingenium gets attacked by Stain, hero killer Stain, and he becomes wheelchair bound. He cannot continue his hero work because he becomes paralysed, I believe from the waist, as far as I'm aware, from the waist down. He just can't use his legs anymore, which is a big deal when your job is running around cities. Although from the looks of it, I think his quirk is in his arms, so like, I guess maneuverability could still be a problem, because obviously if you can't use your legs, you can't maneuver just using your arms. But yeah, so so timeline is before the sports festival. But we have like the kids, we have Midoriya and everybody in UA at the time, so it takes place, I guess, very early in their UA career. But yeah, no, this is just a nothing significant, but just a quick update to just correct my timeline assumptions. And also, does the Knuckle guy, whatever his name is, ever take his mask off? We've seen him without his mask once, and Koichi didn't recognise him, so he put it on. And he's just out and about. He's inside a cafe, and he's got it on. Like, when he's not at his day job, does he just always hang out in it just in case he's... I guess it's his uniform. He hangs out in it like it's his uniform, his hero uniform. So yeah, there we go. Just a quick update. Okay, excuse the shine. Apparently, I'm just extra shiny today. Or the light's just making me look extra shiny today. But to be honest, today's been a shit day, so... but... Ida's brother, Tensei, he's... Obviously, we know Ida's obsessed with it. Ida loves his brother and idolises his brother, but we don't really get to see a great deal of him in the main series. We only really see him, you know, when it's regarding Stain. That's sort of like the first that I can recall. It's been a long time since I've, but it's sort of like that's most of what we know Ida's brother for. But here we actually see him out and about doing hero work and see a bit more about how he does hero work and what he's sort of like hero work is like in his day-to-day or whatever, and how he treats his team and things like that. And he seems great. No, he genuinely seems great, and he is really nice to Koichi. Like, he gives him his card and he's like, hey, like, obviously people who have like big flashy quirks or whatever go to hero school and they get their hero license to become heroes, but that's not the path for everybody. And he offers Koichi like a different road, a different thing, hands him his business card. He then takes it back because he's like, oh well, you're a vigilante, so if that's the path you've chosen, then, you know, you don't need to come to my, no judgment, you don't need to come to my thingy. And Koichi's like, actually, Koichi's so disappointed because obviously that's what he wants. Being a vigilante is great, but I think ultimately he would like to do it through the proper channels. And I guess Tensei was the first person, at least that I know, that we can see so far, to like acknowledge Koichi and be like, hey, you know, you've got potential. And obviously I think that does a lot to boost his confidence. And we also have now this mystery ninja man with the sword who is killing these instant villains. Like, he's taking his vigilantism that extra step and murdering them. We also have a little bit more from Popstep, whose name I don't know. Do we know her name? Because we have Koichi telling a story of how he was late to the entrance exam. I think he missed it altogether. I guess if you're late they just don't let you in or whatever, to Hero High School, because he was saving a drowning, what he thought was at the time was a young boy, and he gave that kid his All Might hoodie. It's the only one he's missing from his collection of like limited edition merch or whatever, hoodies. And it turns out the kid was not a little boy at all, it was Popstep, who has, I guess, been quietly, I don't want to say stalking him, but she's been quietly aware of him and the things he's doing and how she already thinks he's a hero because of that. And she's kind of embarrassed, because she seems to be embarrassed by certain things, but yeah, and it's all getting a little, you know, but yeah, no, Tensei's great. I love Tensei. He's a little less intense than Ida. But they're not the same person. They're not the same person. He seems a little less intense. But no, I like him a lot. I like him a lot. I was literally just thinking that, hey, this ninja guy is sort of a bit like the Stain of this series. You know, except instead of killing heroes, he's killing villains. And then he's just licked his finger, which has Koichi's blood on it. So, a little more like the Stain? Is it Stain? Is this how Stain started? But it can't blood curdle. Licking the opponent's blood paralyzed, and they're like, what are the chances of having two same quirks? It's gotta be, hasn't it? It's got to be. But what made him switch from actually vigilante work to villain work? Although he didn't really align himself with villains, but he was killing heroes, which isn't, I mean, he's killing people actually altogether, so he's not really a good guy, but you know, okay. Well, I guess the old guy beating the shit out of him really knocked a few screws loose. I mean, and they also gave a speech about like wearing masks to like pretend that you're not who you really are. His little speech the master gave also, I guess, resonated with him, because now he's like, yes, no, what I need to do now is kill all the fake heroes. I will be the bloodstainer something. And yeah, so now I guess that's how Stain was born. That's how Stain became Stain that we know and love. Okay, so we've met Tsukauchi's sister, Makoto. She's a university student. She's doing research on like vigilantism and heroism and like what basically looking into it and why heroes are okay, what made heroes be okay. Now that I've got the light on, are now less shiny but now really pink. So flattering. So she's like studying vigilantism and how they're being, at least the vigilante trio that's popped up, which we know Koichi is part of, and like what the locals think of it. And this we find out she has a truth quirk, polygraph. And she's asked him, "You're actually Krullerman, aren't you?" And he's like, "No." Which obviously is the truth, because he's not Krullerman, he's the crawler. And so she's like, huh. She's so stunned because she thought for sure, and he's like, "No, I'm not Krullerman, because that's not the name." But no, she seems great. I like her. She seems good. I'm doing this like I haven't read this before, but honestly, it's like I'm reading this for the first time because I've forgotten all of this. Okay, so we've got some asshole fucking hero coming from, who can't do his hero work in America anymore. He's from the coming over from the US. Supposed top rank hero who's an actual prick. Apparently had so many scandals and lawsuits in the US that he can't work there anymore, so he's come over for a fresh start in Japan, and he's being the worst. He signed over Koichi's All Might hoodie twice, and like, he didn't start any hero work until, one, they got the okay from the Narahata police, which, was it Narahata? I think that's the area, police, which fair dues, I guess, but also had to wait for all the media to be set up, all the cameras to be set up, and it's like, bitch, who do you think you are? Get out of here. Freaking Captain Celebrity. Who calls themselves Captain Celebrity? That's so stupid. What a dumb name. You're so dumb. So Makoto has been working for this Captain Celebrity, Call Me Chris, but she's also been in touch with his wife, because apparently, well, to nobody's surprise, all of his lawsuits and scandals, whatever, are related to women and his infidelity. And Makoto's been in touch with his wife in the US, and his wife was like, "Hey, if you catch him up to his old tricks in Japan, I'm gonna be using that as evidence for the lawsuit." So like, so he's taken Makoto on like a, what he thinks is a date, what she knows is what she's saying is a work meeting, and then she's like, hey, you know, yeah, and then he's in the background saying he's on super off her feet or whatever, and now she's helping him rebrand, and it's, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, but I really like Makoto. She is so passionate, so enthusiastic, and just really goes for it. She's great, and I don't know what's happening. Now everything's blue. Everything's blue. So Koichi's mum has shown up to like complicate things even further. He lied about having a girlfriend, so he fetched Makoto over to lie. His mother saw straight through it, and then Popstep, whose real name we now know, but I don't remember it yet because I haven't heard it enough times, she showed up, probably deciding to pretend to be his girlfriend, except Makoto was over there. She was like, "I'm out." So she roped, Koichi got her to stay, and then fucking Master shows up, and both his mum and Makoto are like, "Hello." Hello. We learnt his name today. Do I remember it? No, we also learnt his job, and how he basically spun their vigilantism into like volunteer work. So I genuinely have no idea what is happening in this volume, but stuff is happening. Stuff is happening. Okay, so we've got a little bit more about I guess the name he gave is Kuroiwa, which isn't real. Turns out it's a fake, and he's anyway, his wife's in hospital, and there's obviously something, he's got some sort of condition, there's something wrong with him, and no one goes to hospital unless there's something wrong with them, but she seems to be in there the long term. And he's like talking to her, but she's not really talking back, and he's like saying how he's doing well, he's got hobbies and friends, and he'll look after Tama. We don't know who Tama is, but he's got beef with the bee girl. Have I mentioned the bee girl this entire time? Hachizuka, who is the cause of this trigger problem, because she is handing out, she can also put it in her little bees or wasps or whatever that she has living in her eye, which is wild. So yeah, he seems to have some beef with her. So like, what he's about to, like, he's like recruited the guys that beat up Koichi at the beginning, and is like, hey, you know, well, not the guys, just the main guy, because he doesn't want his friends involved, because he doesn't want him to get hurt, and that's fair. You know what, that's fair. And it's getting real serious. Baby, this is serious. We also had more Tensei. we love more Tensei, and his mother knows Koichi is a vigilante. Well, I don't think she knows he's a vigilante, but she knows she's doing some stuff that he shouldn't be, and Makoto actually now properly knows. So there we go. Still unsure of the timeline, because obviously without seeing, we know Stain has just been born, so I don't know how long Stain was running around, or like how long it took him to come back and do his thing. But yeah, we're thinking. We're thinking. It's going. Stuff's happening. Things are going down. I mean, people they don't gotta pay. That's what they mean. People they don't gotta pay. It had crossed my mind, but he's just called her Tamao. Come home to mum. That's his daughter. Like, what happened? Literally, I mean, I guess he was absent father, sick mother, I don't know. Oh, possessed by bees. I did wonder if, I'm gonna say, I did promise, wonder if something was a bit earlier. She's looking at the thingy for the event, and she goes, oh, this looks like fun, and then she like sort of twinges, and then she just, it changes. And she's like, nah, it's irritating, pissing me off. So the bee user, Ogoros, his surname, his family name, has possessed his daughter. Oh no, that's actually sadder. That's sad. It also explains why he knew to watch out for the bees, like really early at the like very beginning. He saw the bee and he knew something was up, and he immediately left to go find the bee user. Oh god, I hope nothing bad happens to her. Oh god, that would be so... No, that would be... I should not be reading this on my period. It's making me want to cry. My emotions are all over the place. God. Aizawa's a softie. You know, he acts all hard, like so hard-hearted and so not bothered. But like, that kid who seems to have been permanently transformed into his slippery eel form, poor thing, just wanted to see Pop. Went wild, caused a blackout to see Pop, and they've got him arrested. And as I was like, hey, wanna wait a few more minutes? Like, I'll watch him till he's calmed down. They're just getting to the good part. Like, he's gonna let him sit because the concert's still going in the thing, so he's letting him, just letting him hang out for a sec while Pop does her thing. Oh, I love Aizawa. I love Aizawa so much. So I realised I was gushing about Aizawa and like completely forgetting the main point of this, and that I think the knuckle duster Oguro, I think he got his daughter back. Like, he definitely got the bees out of her. And like mate, that's a man who knows how to get things done. Never mind that that's his daughter's body, he did not hesitate to shove that taser into her chest. He tased the shit out of her. And then we just see him trying to resuscitate her, and I'm hoping he got it sorted. But I'm glad that wasn't like a dragged out thing, because I don't know how much I would have been able to take. I feel like on any normal day, this would have been absolutely fine. And it's sort of... And it is fine. I mean, it seems like Tama's okay. She's in a hospital. I don't think she remembers... I don't know how much she remembers, because obviously the queen bee was like in her brain. So I don't know how much like that's affected her memory. But it looks like his wife was being rushed somewhere, and I don't know what's happened to her, but she's asked where her mum is. And he's like, you can't see her right now, you just missed her. But she's so glad that we brought you home. And like, and he's like, I'm here. It's fine. Oh, God. Usually the dad stuff gets me anyway. Oh. But just extra to take us one period, my emotions are. And also the last few nights have been... not to break down on camera. The last few nights have been had I've had my dad in them, and my dad's been dead like 10 years. 10 years this September, actually. And like, most of the time I'm fine. I'm a-okay. But I don't know what's brought on these dreams. But this was the wrong time to be reading this manga, I tell you that now. Jesus Christ. I'm here. Yay, we get more Fat Gum. I love Fat Gum. I love Fat Gum so much. He's so cute. I want to squish him. Just squish it. I know he's massive. He's like 2 meters tall or something stupid. He's huge, but I just want to squish him so bad. Love him so much. He's probably so comfy. He probably gives the best hugs. He probably gives the best hugs. My thing with Fat Gum, my question, my curiosity is when he's not in his Fat Gum form, like when he's burnt all that energy, I think he shrinks in size too. So like, does he inflate when he eats? Like, is it literally like him inflating? So he's like a balloon? I was gonna say something really gross, but I'm gonna say it anyway actually. And I'm really sorry for putting this image into your head, but a balloon made of flesh, it's just like a flesh balloon, right? That's what he is, and then he deflates. And then he inflates when he eats. Is it sort of that? Obviously it's not a balloon because a balloon would pop and he absorbs. Because I'm sure when he's in small gum form, I don't know, like obviously All Might has his skinny form and then he has his All Might form. And Fat Gum has his Fat Gum and then he's small gum. I'm sure he's shorter. I don't know if we're going to get to see him in small gum form. But yeah, so like it inflates, but obviously not inflation because he would pop otherwise. But he's sort of like flesh balloon. Absorbent flesh balloon. Yeah. Anyway, I want to squish him so bad. Okay, we have a timeline. Aizawa's not actually working at the school yet, so that little prequel was just a prequel. Like that little, yeah, with the kids in the uniform was just a, it was, I don't know, nothing. It was not part of anything. It's just, I guess, using characters you recognise to explain what's happening. It doesn't actually take, they weren't actually there at the time, so Aizawa's not, because we just got Aizawa saying, or because she won't take no for an answer. Before I know it, she'll have me working as a school teacher for real. So he's not actually a school teacher yet, so this is early days. Don't know how early. The kids are probably, what, middle school still maybe? I don't think it'd be any earlier than middle school, so maybe like, yeah, middle school. So we got some sort of timeline confirmed before. I know this was like a, actually I didn't know if this was a prequel. Have I been calling it a prequel? Prequel spin-off? Have I been calling it a spin-off prequel this whole time and just not connected in my head? If I'm gonna go back and look at the clip at the beginning and find out that I've been calling it spin-off prequel and then I just forgot. Wouldn't that be something? Prequel spin-off? Okay, I have to remember that I have my forbidden fanfic plans on my whiteboard at the end of my bed here. Because this is when I get ideas, so I just get up and I jot them on my little whiteboard there. It's in my bedroom, so like it's never gonna, and nobody else is ever going to see it. But no, I've come on here because All Might is adorable. Oh my god, he's so he's so cute. All Might is adorable. Whining about his problems, making it sound like it's some big important cause. It is. This guy is realised because he's been mutated, because that's what's happening. They're being bioengineered, so like they're like people with like transformation quirks are being permanently transformed. That's what happened to the eel guy, and he can't get in his house anymore. Like he's literally squatting in his friend's basement, warehouse or whatever it is, because he literally can't get into his house, and so he's naturally complaining because he's right. this superhero society, this quirked society, is still like, it seems like it's been quirks for ages, but it's still fairly new, because it was only the 80s, right, that it started. And obviously there's no real dates given in My Hero. It's just, we just know it's the year 20 something, based on the last piece of thing I can think of was Midoriya's hero license, where it says 20XX. We know it's the year 20 something, but we don't know when. But even still, like I'm sure it was the 80s, Hero Society is still so, even if it's been around for like 100 years, that's still fairly new in regards to like the entire world's history. And so these things still, this is why like Makoto's sister's talking about, hold on, let me just turn Sunny down a sec. Makoto's sister, Tsukaochi, like Tsukaochi's sister, Makoto, she's like looking into, well actually at the minute she's being really, she's basically managing Captain Celebrity, and she's doing pop and looking after all of that, but she was also working on a thesis with Vigilantes and looking at heroism and like how it used to be Vigilantes until they made hero licenses a thing, but only like a select few got made into heroes, and the rest were just not seen as the right kind of hero, I guess, to be given legal power to do so. And how it's still, all it is all that they've done is like, hey, people can't use their quirks willy-nilly, so it's illegal unless you have a license for it. So these people that have these quirks that are part of their whole being are not allowed to express themselves, they're not allowed to do this or that or whatever, because of how this society is working. And there are people with transformation quirks, there's people that aren't human shaped, aren't human sized, and they're not, they have to apply for like different, what was it they said, individuals with an unusual body can apply for public housing services. Gotta live somewhere different depending on your size. So like, it's this, not everyone, like the people with the regular, that are still regular human sized or whatever, they still get to live normal, they still get to live their regularly average everyday lives, whereas the people that ended up with the transformations, these people that have mutation quirks, who are permanently a different sort of, have a different shape to them, different look to them, different size to them, they're not being taken into account. Obviously this guy's been arrested for being a villain, but he was like, against his will, bioengineered to be permanently transformed, or at least semi-permanently transformed, so that he could accept higher dosages of trigger, or a stronger strain of it. Anyway, he's making sense, and no one's going to take him seriously because he's just some like 2-bit crook or whatever who got arrested for villainy. And it's right. I feel like the My Hero Academia series, I haven't read the entire main series all in one go, and I've been picking at it. I feel like it didn't end well overall. I feel like I feel like it could have benefited from going on for longer, but obviously Horikoshi, obviously you never know when your manga's going to get cancelled, you don't know when it's going to finish. Like, it's not a done thing just because it's being serialized within Shonen Jump. Like, it just because it started there does, like, I think he's had one cancelled before, and so you, I guess, plan as if it's not going to. But I feel like it could have been more. I feel like it could have done more going into like what quirks have done to society and how people built their society around this hero system and how flawed it is. And it started, and I just feel like it didn't go, and lots of people are rightly disappointed by the ending, and I still enjoy the series as a whole. I would like to reread it through from beginning to end all in one go to properly, I think, absorb it. But I think Vigilantes is going to hit, probably going to scratch that itch, at least for now. Hopefully, we'll see. A bigger update than I was expecting, but yeah, just, you can see my little background in the background there. Hold up, so like, I completely forgot that Master has that scar across his face, and the acceleration guy purposely put a scar across his face in imitation of his tutor or master or what the fuck ever, his idol. And we know Master doesn't have a quirk, and we know that the new guy who's dealing, the fast guy, the acceleration guy, his idol was an old hero that used to be like super fast, but he had his quirk stolen and his face split open. And it's Master? So what is he doing? Got his face split and quirk stolen, so which means that, so he is quirkless. But why? This is all like a massive coincidence, like of things happening. So they just happened to use his daughter as a supplier, a distributor for the quirk, for the trigger. And now we know he's not really on the up and up, because we know he was in contact with the I don't remember his name, the shady guy. He was buying like painkillers from him, and then he asked him to make him that special taser to help his daughter. But like, that is Master, right? Because he has that scar. Master has that scar. It's been so long, I can no longer remember. But he says, "I'm here," and that's what Master says. He says, "I'm here." I thought it was like he's like taking the like mocking All Might or something, like a really weird, like a parody of All Might. "I'm here." So what's going on? So it is him, and he's just sort of like wrapping up. So he was a hero called Hyper Quad Fist, and this new guy. So he lost his quirk, and this new guy just happens to have the same quirk, because I'm sure he called it Quad Fist, but he's trying to push it further to like 8 Fist or something. So he potentially has his quirk, because he's met up with a police guy, and they keep mentioning O'Clock, but I don't know if O'Clock and him are the same person. I don't know if O'Clock was a nickname or something, or if it's a completely different hero. I can't remember what he looked like, but he was like he was specifically a speed related hero, I think, and he froze time. O'Clock did, but I can't remember if they're connected or whatever, if they're the same person. But yeah, so it looks like Kuroiwa's not his real name. He's like, basically he stopped being a hero and took on a whole new life. Tamao seems to be doing fine. He's not around much, but those kids from the beginning that beat up Koichi are like hanging out with her and helping her out. And the spiky guy, the main guy, seems to be a rough and tough type. A bully, don't get me wrong, but also weirdly sweet. But yeah, so he's met up with one of the police guys, and he's like got them information. And he's sort of like, I think he's just trying to wrap up some loose ends or whatever. But he's told him that if they come across that guy again, the fast guy, just aim for the vitals. Don't try to incapacitate. Aim to. So yeah, and I don't know why he's growing this beard out. Tamao hates it, and she's right. It's awful, but you know, I guess it is what it is. Thank you. Just say thank you. Thank you for putting Aizawa in a suit again. For blessing us with this man. We love to see it. And also the little thing about you never know if you'll have to put on a suit to get up and apologise for a scandal someday. Me? Never gonna happen. I love a bit of dramatic irony. See, this is why this is why All Might had to be nerfed. This is why All Might had to have a life-changing injury. Like, I'm really sad that happened to him, but it had to happen because he's too OP. Like, there's literally all of these heroes fighting together to get the Sky Egg, because obviously the Sky Egg was gonna get, the moment they start talking about having a fucking massive party in the Sky Egg, you're just asking to be blown up, right? You're just asking to be toppled to the ground. And don't get me wrong, Captain Celebrity did a bang up job. And also, I'm not sure how I feel about the whole switch on Captain Celebrity and what kind of person he actually is compared to how he was introduced. Not sure how I feel about that, not sure I'm gonna get into that during this vlog, maybe another time. But yeah, because then Tsukauchi's like, hey, All Might, I know this is against procedure, but I need you to come save my sister, please. And All Might, in like a second, gets the sky egg, puts it on the ground, just absolutely saves everyone. And Captain Celebrity's like, wow. And I thought I was the hero. No, you were a hero. Like, he did a bang up job. All Might is just, he's just OP. He's just too OP. Hence the life-threatening injury that he was dealt. Obviously glad he didn't die. And obviously it sucks that that injury happened to him, but you know, if not, literally there'd be no point in having any other heroes. They'd just be all back up. No wonder Endeavour, oh, I need to put this on charge in a bit. No wonder Endeavour went off the rails. If that was who he was competing against. Doesn't excuse what he did to his family though, but yeah. Fucking All Might. I think that's a pretty accurate way to describe All Might, to be quite honest. Because everyone thought they were safe, and then he decided to like regenerate, whatever the villain, so it was massive, and it was birthing like hundreds of like bombers individually, so Aizawa couldn't like erase them, and All Might, you know, he can't take down them all, and then he just did it in one punch, and it's like, yeah, no, he's a Deus Ex Machina sort of like power, which is why he's horrifically injured. Otherwise there'd be no point. There'd be 0 point, because he'd be, you know, there would literally only be also overpowered villains left. Literally no one would be able to be a villain if All Might was at full power all the time. Man's insane. I really hope he's okay. Like the old man, what was his, we've got his legal name, hold on, legal name, Iwao Oguro, like former hero, O'Clock, former pro hero. He really was. The thing is, obviously this is like a theme, and I guess this was the reason why they did this for MHA Vigilantes, but this whole like master pupil sort of thing going on, like successor sort of thing. So in the main series we have Midoriya and All Might. Like All Might passes on all for what? One for all. One for all to Midoriya. And then we have All for One, who sort of grooms Tomura to be his sort of, I say successor, spoilers if you haven't, I guess, reached that far, but he basically grooms him to be his vessel so that he can continue, because obviously his body's like gone to shit, so he, you know. And then we have this one, this sort of unwanted, we have, well, we sort of have learned that like Oguro sort of like picked Koichi as sort of like a unofficial successor to him, because he never saw of himself as like a proper hero. And I don't know, I guess he just, I don't know, he sees something in Koichi and like he's going to take that, like he doesn't want the limelight or anything, doesn't want the big thanks or anything. Then we have this absolute nutter who is calling him master, who has somehow gained the quirk that was stolen from August. Because we've got quirk stealing going on and quirk passing around, we obviously know All for One's involved in this somehow, because that's what he does. He takes quirks and gives quirks away, and also he's got something else mixed in, and we also know he's a mixture of things. When we see him in the past, he doesn't really have a name, and he's just been called Number 6. Like that's what he is, he's just Number 6, he's a nobody. We don't really have a proper face for him or anything, we just have sort of an outline. We very rarely see, like, I think we've had like one sort of close-up, like you could probably get like a vague description of him, but in the past he's just sort of this little like blob thing, this little like mutated thing, like he's not like human looking. So I don't know if that's just how he saw himself in the past, or is that's generally what he looked like, whether he's something that's been created. But we have no real idea of his features or anything. He is a nobody, and he really looked up to O'Clock. And so I guess they gave him his quirk, and he's obviously been working on that and all of the other shit, DNA that's been put in him and whatnot. Because with all this, we know with Trigger that they have been, if you take a sample from someone who's on Trigger and put it in you, they've been getting like thingies of their quirk in their DNA. Obviously that's a really dangerous thing to do. Don't just like go injecting yourself with other people's blood, because that's how you get diseases. And also, if it's not compatible, I don't know what happens if you get blood in you that's not compatible. I don't know what that does to your body, but obviously it's not good. But yeah, but then obviously at the end he exploded the building, and there's no body, there's blood. So he definitely bled there, but we don't know where he is. I really hope he's okay, because obviously he just got his daughter back. I don't want him to like die and leave her behind, because that would be awful. Like, he's got responsibilities. Aizawa did his work study with Prince? What? Actually, also, forget Prince for a second. We talk about Yao Momo's outfit, like hero costume, and how it's really not appropriate for a 16-year-old. Right, like, we're talking about how it's not appropriate because of the amount of skin that she shows. Yao Momo's costume might as well be full body overalls compared to Midnight's original costume. No wonder they fetched rules in for that shit. She's wearing nothing. She's got some weird pad, like, they look like punching pads, except she's got them like belted across her chest to cover her boobs, and she has a belt that is covering nothing, and she's wearing an overall. She looks like a flasher. An overall? A fucking trench coat. Who was allowing these 16-year-olds to design their costumes? I guess she's 17 at this stage. Someone should have said to him, like, hey, Midnight, I get that you like emit your quirk from your skin, but do you really need all of your skin on display in decent exposure? You can't get away with it just because you are conventionally attractive. Girl, put some clothes on. Aren't you cold? Gonna be honest, I don't know how much of Aizawa's time at school I really needed. Getting to know Oburo? Fuck, I've forgotten his name. Because Loud Cloud's the Oburo? Shirakumo, right? Is that what they've been calling him? Wait, Shirakumo? Seriously? Shit, I've forgotten his name. But yeah, like, actually, it's one thing knowing, right? And seeing Aizawa and Yamada, like, having to deal with the fact that whatever that gay villain's called, I've completely forgotten, is their old friend Oburo? I really wish I was better at remembering people's names. Loud Cloud was his hero name, I remember that, because that was Oguro. No, it's not Oguro, because I'm sure Oguro was his name. Oburo? Oburo. Oh, fuck off, I can't remember. Anyway, like, yes, I know how to read it, and just sort of like, and then knowing that happened, and then seeing it happen, and like seeing the lead up to it, and how much he helped Aizawa sort of like come into himself as a hero. That's a new ice cream man. Or you just got a new tune. Yeah, I don't know how much of that I really wanted. Because it's sad. It's like knowing he was traumatized and then seeing him be traumatized. Two very different things, you know what I mean? Okay, time's a ticking. I have exactly an hour and, well, not exactly, I have to do some math. I have about an hour and a half left of today, so I'm going to power through this. We're going to power through this, so I'm not going to do like loads of little updates, but like, so Pop's a villain now. We're at Pop villain stage. She got, because the speed guy disguised himself as like a boring old manager, and then like sort of like got himself involved with Pop and her next step, and basically kidnapped her and made her into the new Queen Bee. And now Endeavor's involved, and he's about to murder a child. Because here's the thing, I was never quite sure, and I couldn't remember how old Pop was. But it's been like 3 years since this whole shit started, I think. And she's in high school now, so she's still fairly young. So it's kind of weird that she's been hanging out with Koichi and Master. But you know, we're just going to glaze over that. But yeah, no, Endeavour should have been, he's like, yeah, no. Calls for annihilation by wide-scale assault. We're going to murder this child. Or maim her, seriously maim her. Good one, Endeavour. Nice going. Real swell guy that Endeavour is. And now he's probably about to murder Koichi as well, because he's a vigilante into Endeavour. Vigilante and villain are the same thing. Such a swell guy. Such a swell guy that Endeavour is. Okay, so we're getting a little past now with getting a little trip down memory lane from that police officer that's friends with the old man, Oguro, or Kuroiwa, or Clock, whatever you want to call him, and how he infiltrated a illegal fighting ring to get his hand on the drugs or whatever, to, you know, to get evidence for their drug usage, quirk drugs. And we get a young Mirko. Usako, was that her name? She's absolutely bonkers. I love her so much. She has a smell. She has a nose for fighting, so she like apparently was well known for crashing fighting clubs in middle school and got in trouble a lot for it. So she's crashed this illegal fighting ring and has challenged everybody, and she's like, heck yeah, she lives for this. And somehow they let her be a hero. She's great. Oh my god, she's good. We also get a young Fat Gum as well, looking, I like how he calls him standard weight. He's like labelled standard weight, looking very regular, very not Fat Gum, but also not his normal. Like when he's burnt all his fat off, there's like, I don't know if it's just because he's younger or what, but he just looks regular, just a regular guy in an oversized hoodie, ready to, I guess, be Fat Gum. But yeah, getting a little flashback, a little treat, because there's a lot going on with, obviously, Pop's in hospital now, and they're protecting her from number 6, who got burnt in Endeavour's fire, and is like having to start again, like obviously, because he's got a lot of regeneration, and he's not really a person as such, I don't think. And we also know that Oguro, the man, Kuroiwa, O'Clock, or whatever, did accidentally stumble upon All for One, and I guess that's how he got his quirk taken. But yeah, no, she's just gone in there and just like trashed the whole thing. Oh, she's great. Kurogiri, that's the name of the gate, because I've just remembered he's like the opposite. I know this is a while now. He's the opposite of, because Shirakumo is like white cloud, right? Yeah, like white cloud, and then he goes to Kurogiri, which is like black mist. I think Kiri's mist, so Kurogiri would be black mist. I just had that thought, just remembered. Okay, so I think I'm gonna call it there for today, because it is, well, it's getting late. It's my bedtime, past my bedtime. So I only have, just finished volume 11, and I think I only have wait, no, I've just finished volume 12. Wait, what volume did I just fucking finish? I've just finished volume 12, so I only have 3 volumes left, I believe, because I think there's 15. So I'll just finish the other 3 tomorrow morning during breakfast, because I think I've got to get them finished, because I think I have the editing. Yep, getting them edited tomorrow, so it's gonna be a long day. But yeah, so we have like a little backstory. Tanama's connecting dots from an old case and like linking them to the current cases and how they all might be linked together, and how they all actually might be linked to All for One, who's got a dealing with it. And we also know that All for One actually purposefully targeted O'Clock, because it's a really interesting quirk that he has and a really useful quirk that he has, and he already has an idea for the application of it. So he wants that, but it's nice that we got a good look at Mirko, because she's great. She is. Wait, no, they're calling her Usako, but I don't think that's her full name. Is it Usagiyama? I want to say her full name is Usagiyama. but she is she pretty much hasn't changed at all. And also we saw Fat Gum, who he wasn't, I guess he wasn't initially, he hadn't initially, being that big was not initially one of the things that he was doing, because I guess because we see him being inspired by All Might showing up and being like, okay, maybe if I get bigger it'll help, and it really does help him. And also we see Night Eye and we see All Might's original small form, because his All Might form is I guess it's always been fake, or sort of as he got older, I guess it started being more fake, where he had to like pump himself up to present himself as All Might. So it was weird to see Small Might before he was Small Might, but that was cool to see. And then obviously, and then at the end of that volume, number 6 is infiltrated again. I knew it, I just knew it. He's just such a plain face. Everyone's like, oh, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm just this guy, just nobody. And it's like, actually no. And then he blows up the office. So Tanama probably dead. And also he appears to be like, we don't know where the old man is, like the original O'Clock, Oguro or Kuroiwa or whatever his name is. Was it Oguro? Right, we still don't know where he is. I haven't seen him. He left that letter for Koichi, right, saying, hey, you're my hero. I know you can do this. You can do it. You've got this. You are a hero. Because you're my hero, you can save Pop. And I think I have some thoughts on Pop and her whole arc here. But I think that's going to be probably, what I might do is I might actually do a little spoilery section in my spoiler-free review of this to talk about it, because I feel like she deserved better than what she got, but that's just me. But yeah, no, only 3 volumes left, and we've started like connecting dots, or someone started connecting dots, and we're starting to bring it back to All for One. And yeah, it's I hope Master's okay. I hope O'Clock is okay. Like, I hope he's not dead, because obviously we had that whole thing with his daughter, and then obviously he's still involved in this, wanting to like see this to the end, because it's sort of still his business, and he feels like, I guess it's one of those things he just doesn't want to leave unfinished. But obviously he has his daughter, and I need him to be okay. I need him to be okay at the end. Okay, he started off as this weird old man, but actually I love him. Okay, I love him, but it's late for me. I need to go to bed. So get this finished in the morning, some final thoughts, and then I have to edit it. Why do I do this to myself? And there lies the problem. No one wants to admit that they're wrong, that what they've got is failing, or that is not working for everybody, like that it's failing people. So rather than admit that and work on that, they just cover their holes. It's like that meme of the tank leaking, and someone just slapping like the equivalent of like duct tape over it, and like, this is gonna fix it all. That's or like patching a hole, but then there's other holes leaking everywhere. It's like, no, we've got this. Arrest Vigilantes, that's gonna help us. Never mind the fact that we're still leaking holes, like there's still a leak in the tank. The justice system is fine. The justice system isn't failing, except it is. It fails so many people because it's not designed to protect. It has police. Okay, not to get political, well, not to get political, I'm literally reading. Police, right, historically, were not built to protect everybody. We're not made to protect everybody. The system was not made to protect everybody. And when they sort of adapted to protect everybody, you can tell that that's all it's been done for, because it doesn't work. It's shit, okay? And all anybody does is abuse power, and it's and people slip through the cracks, and all they're doing is wasting resources on fucking this shit. Okay, this is a hero society. I don't like, or we're not getting into it. It's not. I like you, Takoshi, but this ain't it, mate. This ain't it. And now he's been labelled a villain. Like, repeat quirk misuse, right? And now he's a villain. And now he's a villain. I'm so mad right now that I can feel myself about to cry. This is the problem with this society. And this is why the ending of My Hero Academia was so disappointing. Because it points out all these holes in this system that they have. Like, all these things that are wrong with it. But then nothing changed after everything went down. And here, like, he's been labelled a villain because he's not... Simply because he's not cooperating. Simply because he's not doing it within the law. He's immediately villain. Not criminal, right? This whole society is not criminal. It's not, oh, you know, he's a criminal now. All criminals are villains. That's sort of like a thing labelled, this label of hero and villain. This, like, real black and white thinking of hero, villain. And, like, it's pissing me off. It's pissing me off. Ingenium's on the scene. I'm hoping Ingenium is gonna, like, give him a break, but I don't know, because, like, Tensei's not as much of a stick in the mud as Tenya, his little brother. But then Tenya did immediately resort to murder. So who knows? But, like, it's pissing me off. This whole thing needs a rehaul. They can't fix it. This is the problem with... We're gonna stick to just talking about it in the manga, but overall, okay, just hear me, I'm talking about this overall. You can't fix something that wasn't made to work the way that we're trying to make it work. That's not how you do it. You have to, it has to have a whole rehaul. You have to break it down, pull it down, and start again. But no one wants to start again. They just want to think, well, we've already got this set out, we'll just, like, adapt it. But it doesn't work. It comes to that you reach a point where you can't, there's nothing you can do because the foundation of it is rotten. You have to start again. If the foundation's wrong, if the foundation is bad, you have to start again. Don't ask me what that would look like because I ain't got a clue. All I know is that that's what needs to happen. You can't just go labelling people villains because they're not abiding by your rules. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can't just, oh, it's quirk misuse, therefore villain. So quirkless people can't be villains. The same way quirkless people can't be heroes. Because it's all about the quirk, and that was the problem. That's the problem in the main series, it's the problem here. Like, we saw it right at the beginning when Aizawa went to arrest Oguro. But then it's like, oh wait, nah. You're just an old guy beating people up. But there's no quirk misuse here, so you don't need me. You're free to go. Never mind the fact that he's beating the shit out of people with his bare fists. The fact that it's not quirk misuse just completely brushed it off. It was nothing. And I know nothing's going to get solved in this because this takes place before the main series and nothing gets solved in the main series. Like, they start talking about it, they start, you know, and it just... I love him so much. He's like some weird twisted version of All Might. 'Cause I'm here with a bloody fist, because of course he is. I knew he wasn't dead. The break-in at Soichi? Who the fuck's Soichi? Koichi's apartment when wrapped. When, you know, the way that it was the fist through the window, that's how he broke in the first time. So I was like, Master? You here? And also number 6 has been talking to himself. Because while he's been doing this, ever since he blew up the building and Master disappeared. I keep calling him Master. His name's Oguro, or Kuroiwa. He sort of had this o'clock sort of like apparition, I guess, next to him, like talking him through his plans and telling him if he's doing good or what he should do better or things like that. He's basically talking to himself But towards the end there, when he like started transforming and like really focusing on Koichi, like, and completely abandoning his plan to kill Pop, it became very much more all for one instead of Oguro. But yeah, no, I love that he showed up. It's like, well, too bad, sucker, because I'm here. Just sort of like a darker version of All Might. I love it. I love him so much. Because I'm here. Yes, he is, to take place. I really wish we got more of him with his daughter, but I guess, you know, wasn't really the focus, although it's sort of like we had a whole big deal of it. But we just, I guess, just sort of assume, I guess, that wasn't the focus and they didn't really want to put time into that. But I would have enjoyed to see him at least have a moment with his daughter at the end there. But she seems to be doing okay, hanging out with Soga and crew. So that's something. And I'm glad with the whole Pop arc, I'm sort of glad we didn't end with some massive confession, because I hate that that was Pop's entire, that's how Pop sort of ended, like that's how her little thing came to an end. She was a villain and then she got sent to the hospital, and that was sort of it for her. But I really enjoyed that. I did not know what to expect from it. I really enjoyed it. I would have loved more from Master, from Oguro, from Knuckle Duster, Knuckle Fist, whatever the fuck they were calling him, or he was calling himself. Such a fucking weird old man. I say old, to be honest. He's probably not much older than I am. Do they have like official ages? I'm not looking at Pop because I don't want to know how young she was. No, wrong one, not Oboro. Oboro, I want Oguro. Okay, so he's nearly 50. I'm not quite that old, but he's not. Oh no, his wife did die. That is what happened. I was really worried because we didn't really get anything. It was just so like she was rushed. She was being rushed into what's it, and he's like, yeah, your mum can't come right now. And I was really terrified that that's what had happened, because we didn't get any news. But I think at least he got to tell her that he got Tamao, like Tamao was home. Oh mate, he lost his wife. But 49 now, that's not too old. That's only 15 years older than me. I need to get showered and I need to get on with my day. But no, I really enjoyed that. Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. It wasn't perfect by any means. Obviously it's not going to be. No series is perfect, and obviously there's things that you're going to want from a series and it's not going to deliver. And I feel like I'm glad that the Vigilantes didn't just stop, because that's still a problem with this society, because obviously this is a prequel. It can't fix it all because the main series didn't fix it, because it needs more. Like I said, it needs more. I'm not going to get into it, but it needs more from the foundation. But I'm glad he's still around. I'm glad he's still beating fucking ne'er-do-wells. Beating the crap out of them. And I just hope he is there for his daughter, and I hope they've got a better relationship now. I hope they're doing well. She seems to be doing okay, which is good. Yeah, I think I have some thoughts. I need to sit with it, because I think I've got to film the review to get it up on schedule this Friday. Yeah. But yeah, no, overall really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that, and I'm and the whole switch with like Captain Celebrity having to come to Japan for scandal, and at the end Koichi having to go to America because of the scandal, because he was only a vigilante, so like he's not going to get a pass for all the property damage that he caused in that fight, because he chose to not go get All Might and instead stay and engage the villain. Oh man. And then because obviously they shouldn't let him answer questions to the press when he doesn't understand what's being asked of him, like he doesn't speak English. What he should have is, I mean, I'm assuming Captain Celebrity speaks Japanese. He was there on the scene. He could have acted as a translator for him. Like, hey, they've asked you this question, so then he could say that, and then, you know, it'd be a lot better than what he did say, which was that he would agree to smash all of the bigwigs with all his might. Because like he did a really good job. He saved that plane, and then the press are just like, how about you head downtown and smash Wall Street to rubble, give those fancy pants necktie wearing jackasses what's coming to him. And he's like, yes, with all my might. Like, yeah, no, he's absolutely gonna just fucking but you know, they should have given him a little more thing. He should have provided him a translator. You know what I mean, like Captain Celebrity would have done on the fly, but you know. It is what it is. I'm glad he gets to be a hero and all of the joys that that brings. But no, overall really good, so I think we're going to finish that there. And I think for the next manga, for the next one, I'm going to be, for this, well I guess this month because it is April now, I am going to be reading Inuyasha. The choice this month, because I have a hard time picking things to choose from, and because I'm a massive mood reader, I have to just like keep it small. So I picked Inuyasha or Fushigi Yugi, which are two like older manga that I've been wanting to read for a while now. And obviously because it's still just me making the votes on my polls right now, because again, few little like not enough viewers and not enough like advertising that this is a thing. So the poll went up on my coffee and I vote because this is what I want out of the two of them. So I'm gonna be reading Inuyasha. I'm really excited. I saw what Netflix had on at the time, like got a few years ago now, which I think was just like the first season, or like, well it said season 1, as Netflix does, it puts everything in seasons. So I don't know what, I can't remember, but I'm excited to read the manga. Late to the party, very late to the party, but I'm excited to read it. But now I need to get on with my day. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I do appreciate it. Again, if you would like early access to these, would like chance to vote, you can do so in my coffee, which will be linked in the description below. It's ko-fi.com/tondotkatsu. That's tondotkats with my username with a U on the end. I have 3 tiers on that you can choose from to get varying perks. But until then, take care of yourselves. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are, and I will see you in another video very soon. But until then, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.